Hey, take break crew. Buckle up, because we're about to twist your brain with a story that feels like pure science fiction. Get ready for a mind-bending ride. We're diving into the legend of telepathy, the age-old idea that thoughts can leap across the void. Let's trace how this whisper-like power has haunted curious minds for centuries. Picture this. You hear someone's thought before they even open their mouth. It's like a silent conversation that bypasses words entirely. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Yet, real scientists in the 1800s actually set up labs to test mind-to-mind signals. Their notebooks are full of trials that sound straight out of a movie. In late 1800s London, the city's spiritualist salons buzzed with talk of invisible connections. Curiosity turned into secret gatherings where people tried to prove the impossible. Enter a charismatic researcher. He gathered volunteers in a dim attic, promising a glimpse into the unseen. His goal? To push thoughts through a wall like a silent messenger. Our curious researcher rounded up a handful of eager volunteers and led them into a shadowy attic that seemed to exist between the stars. The space was dim, the air thick with anticipation, and the walls echoed with the hum of unseen possibilities. The experiment's aim was simple yet daring. Send a basic picture through an invisible barrier without speaking. Could a thought image cross the void and rematerialize on the other side? 2 volunteers took their places, chairs turned back to back, eyes closed, each sinking into a quiet focus. The silence was palpable, like the calm before a supernova. One mind began to draw, a tiny house, a leaf, a smile, while the other tried to read the invisible ink of thought. Guessing became a silent game of cosmic charades. Early reports shouted that the success rates were off the charts, far beyond what chance would allow. The numbers glimmered like distant galaxies, promising a breakthrough. But skeptics drifted in, murmuring that it was all just lucky guesses and statistical quirks. Their doubts floated like cold comets, reminding everyone to keep a critical eye on the data. The Curiosity crew moved the experiments into a proper lab. They built a sterile, high-tech rig to test telepathy without any spooky tricks. Let's see what the data looked like when the lights were on. To keep things fair, they sealed random drawings inside envelopes. No one could peek, and the only way to send an image was through pure thought. The stage was set for a mind-to-mind guesswork. Pairs of volunteers sat back to back, each with an envelope hidden from the other. One tried to send the picture, the other guessed what was inside. It was a silent game of mental ping-pong. Some runs actually nudged past pure luck by a few %. Not a miracle, but enough to raise eyebrows and spark debate. Could the brain be whispering across the void? Statisticians jumped in, crunching numbers and tossing around p-values. Was the bump real, or just a statistical hiccup? The debate heated up faster than a solar flare. They reminded everyone that randomness can create surprising streaks on its own. A few lucky hits don't prove telepathy. They're just the universe's own little tricks. Still, the mystery lingered. We flash back to 1901, the year that would become the centerpiece of telepathy lore. In the hush of a dim laboratory, something extraordinary was about to be tested. Let's see what the cosmos recorded that day. A French university erected a towering contraption, aiming to bridge minds across space. The structure looked like a needle stitching thoughts together in the void. Could a tower really become a conduit for thoughts? Inside the tower, a metal cage glimmered, the chosen channel for mental messages. Students imagined sending their thoughts right through those bars, like whispers in a vacuum. The cage became the silent messenger. One participant swore she heard the word apple echoing from the cage. The image of a crisp red apple seemed to materialize in the emptiness. Was it a mind-reading miracle or a vivid imagination? When the hidden card was revealed, it matched the apple image down to the last detail. The coincidence sent ripples through the scientific community. Was it chance or something beyond? Later, a meticulous review uncovered a tiny data entry slip that skewed the results. The miracle dissolved into a simple human error, yet the story kept haunting curious minds. Even though the science was shaky, The tale of Mind Talk caught the public's imagination like a comet streaking across the night sky. People couldn't help but wonder if thoughts could really leap across a room. Soon, every evening the news flickered with stories of telepathy, turning the mystery into a headline that glowed brighter than any star. The media fed the frenzy, and curiosity spread like stardust. Hollywood jumped in, weaving the mind-reading myth into dazzling cinema that pulsed with neon imagination. The silver screen turned whispers into visual fireworks. Meanwhile, serious psychologists kept digging for hard evidence, setting up experiments that floated between hope and skepticism. They chased the signal like astronauts searching for a new world. Modern neuroimaging showed that brains actually sync up when we talk, creating a quiet ripple of shared activity. It's a beautiful dance, but not the sci-fi mind-reading we imagined. That overlap is just shared attention, a gentle echo of each other's thoughts, not a direct download of ideas. It's a reminder that even in the silence of space, connection is still a subtle glow. Scientists today hook people up to EEG caps and try to read a flicker of intent from the brain's electric chatter. It's like listening for a whisper in a galaxy of static, hoping the signal stands out. The results? They're a modest glow, nothing like the laser beam mind reading of sci-fi. Think of it as a tiny spark in a sea of darkness, still interesting, but far from magic. The biggest obstacle is the sneaky, unconscious cues that slip through, tiny gestures, micro-expressions, even the slightest shift in posture. Those silent clues can masquerade as telepathy. Even a barely noticed breath can give away a thought. A soft exhale moves the debris like a secret signal, betraying what the mind is trying to hide. So far, no experiment has survived a strict double-blind test. The data get locked away, and when the lid lifts, the results still fall short of true mind reading. The mystery lingers. Why do we keep reaching for telepathy? Our brains love patterns, and the idea of mind-to-mind contact fits right into that cosmic curiosity. Ever wonder why we instinctively feel each other's joy or pain? Evolution may have wired us with a built-in empathy circuit, like a silent network humming through our brains. It's the original social Wi-Fi. Our minds are pattern hunters, spotting order in chaos. Even when we conjure something from nothing, the brain stitches it together like a star map. That's why we see meaning everywhere. Because we crave patterns, the legend of telepathy keeps resurfacing generation after generation. It's a story that never fades, looping through our collective imagination like a cosmic echo. Now picture a breakthrough that finally cracks the code. Imagine the moment science catches up to the myth, lighting up the darkness with real possibility. What if we could send pictures straight from one mind to another? Brain-computer bridges might let thoughts become shared visuals, turning private ideas into public art. Scientists are already testing microscopic implants that translate intent into digital signals. Each tiny chip is a step closer to that sci-fi dream of mind-to-mind communication. As we push the boundaries of mind-linked tech, the moral stakes get heavier than a black hole. What responsibilities do we carry when thoughts could be shared? The questions echo louder than any signal. Will we ever crack the code to truly hear another mind? Right now, it's like trying to catch a whisper across a galaxy, possible in theory, but still out of reach. Stay curious, because the next spark could light the path to real mind sharing. Who knows? The breakthrough might be just a thought away. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Take Break, turn on notifications, and share it with a friend who loves a good story.